Oh, he doesn't speak. I'm sorry.
He doesn't speak?
No, he.
All right.
Yeah. He only has one line.
Just let him emote and that's it.
Teaching him, how to speak human was
Okay, so I want everyone to go down the line and introduce themselves, who they are, what they did on film. There you go.
Hi, my name is Roy, and my film is called Evermore, the 5-minute short film. And in that short film, I kind of did everything. I did the director of photography, set design, and editing, all that kind of thing. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Nicolás Jaramillo. I came all the way here from Colombia. My film was Serimo, so it's the second film. Yeah, I directed, edited it, wrote it. I also did post-production and distributed. Yeah, distributed as well.
My name is Rose Lujay, and I was the writer, director, and editor of Symptoms of Melancholy.
My name is Julia Guest. I was the writer and director of Most Likely To.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline, and I was the producer for Most Likely To.
Hi, I'm Sam. I was the prop master and here to represent the entire art department of Most Likely To.
All right, so this is a question for the filmmakers. How did this how did this film come to be? How did you get the idea for it?
So this film is kind of a sad movie, I believe. Well,
Sad movies in this
well,
book.
it came from an inspiration from a friend that happened to one of my friends, a really good friend of mine, and I didn't tell him it was about him, but I kind of just did it to kind of try to express his story through this short film. And yeah, that was like my biggest inspiration for this film. Yeah.
This is gonna be pretty long. So I was fortunate enough to get to know my two great grandparents. I was really fortunate, but I was also unfortunate to see their decay through age. My late great grandfather from my father's side, he was the first person I saw die in my life. He was the first person he helped me understand death and how it was. And my mom always told me that he always wanted to get out of the house. He always wanted to leave. He always wanted to let me out. He was getting really stressed because they wouldn't let him out. And yeah, there was like the first one and the second, my late great grandmother from my mother's side, Blanca. She also suffered from dementia and Alzheimer's. She always used to like give me a hard time every time I come home because she was like, "Oh, you don't ever come here visit me? You have you come here for a long time?" I was like, "Grandma, I was here yesterday." And also, it was because of a story my mother told me. She was driving through the streets in Colombia, in Cali, and she saw an old man walking in the streets. And my dad recognized him because he was a friend of his childhood neighbor. And he was like, "Wait, that's my friend's father." And my mom came up to him in the car, was like, "Hey, mister, how you doing? What are you doing here?" And he was dirty. He didn't know where he was. He was lost. He was crying. And thankfully, my mom and my dad helped him get back home. But all those things made me think, what could have happened if nobody ever showed up? And my mom still really, she doesn't know what I'm saying, but my mom still would be pretty angry to that person's daughter. She was really angry because she thought, how could you let him alone? Because he was completely alone. So yeah, I can go on and on because there's a lot of things that made me go, this film made me go through, but that's like the main inspiration. So yeah.
I guess keeping on the trend of darker films for a second, I was diagnosed with OCD, or obsessive compulsive disorder, in 3rd grade, and it was at a time kind of before I could properly articulate what exactly I was experiencing. And so when I first started therapy in 3rd grade, my therapist asked me to draw the guy who I said was controlling my mind, and I drew kind of like the Monopoly Man. And he has now turned into the habit controller in my senior thesis film at film school. So it's kind of a full circle moment. I really was aiming to strengthen the representation of OCD in film and on the screen, because it's so often just excessive cleaning and sanitizing and counting, and although that's how it manifests for so many people, it doesn't get to the root of why it manifests like that. So I wanted to get more to the emotional root, how grief and anxiety intersect with OCD, and also how it's a cycle, so it never ends, but you learn to adapt with it in different forms. So, yeah.
Those are all very beautiful films transitioning to my high school comedy. So Most Likely To was kind of a mix of, I worked at a production studio called American High that creates a lot of high school comedies, which we shot the film at, which I was so excited to get to film in a place that I had worked in for so long as an intern. And I had to think of something that I experienced in high school, and so while I was working there, I was also experiencing this feeling of feeling behind and feeling like, oh my god, I'm only a PA, and like, what's someone else doing this summer, and what internship does someone else have, and like, I'm not doing enough of what I need to be doing, and so I was like, how can I stem that feeling into high school? And so almost feeling like everyone around you has everything figured out, and everyone agrees with how they are expressing themselves, so everyone knows, oh, they're going to be roommates, because that's just, we know, we can tell. So how that feeling manifested, and then also I've just loved high school comedies, and like the nostalgia behind those kind of like fun, like I wanted to make a party scene, I wanted to have a weird mascot, like in the film. So yeah, and then I wanted to make a film with my friends before graduating, so that's kind of a mix of where all the inspiration came from for it.
So I wanted to ask, how was it working on set? And I want to start with the team from Most Likely To. How was this? How was set? How did you pull it off? Did you pull everything off that you wanted to? Tell us about that process.
Yeah, so I will start by saying that I gave my producer quite a feat, because the original script is actually a 30-minute long pilot length script. And I went in being like, we're going to do that. We did not, we shot all of it. It is shot. So we shot this film in 4 days, and we shot the other pages also in 4 days. So 30 pages worth of content in 4 days, which Jackie created a wonderful schedule for us. Clap to that. And yeah, so it was like everyone kind of had to be very prepared going in, because we had such limited time to film. Do you want to talk more about it? I feel like you're the mastermind of the schedule and everything.
I think for me it was just finding the right people to work on the departments, and just give them, like, to trust them that they know how to do the work. And also I was just like, I can do as much as possible, and then it's just with them, and then I pray that they make it through the day and we get the film done. Because that's all, at the end of the day, I just wanted to bring the ideas that people have into life in a budget way and in a time way, and make things reality. Yeah.
I'll also add that we had a lot of pre-production days, so art department was making things for like weeks before. Because the school, American High, although it is a school, it's an empty school. So the classroom does not look like, the desks are there, but there's the whiteboard. My art department put up a black piece of paper and put chalk on it to make it look like an actual usable chalkboard. They put all the flags up. They put the speaker on the wall. They put, things on the shelves in the back. They made the banner and that like display area. So a lot of the stuff. The principal's office, oh my god, it did not look like that. It was my boss's office, and it had like a lot of Jurassic World props in there. So we had to kind of redo that room. So it was a lot of like pre-production, so that everyone kind of just knew what they were doing when they got there, like she said. And then also on set, it was so fun. We had a lot of fun. I mean, the eagle was running around.
Can I say that in December,
in December we found one of the cheese balls in
my pouch.
In the couch. In December we filmed this in
We filmed
September.
September. We filmed
Yeah.
it, and we found cheese
Very
balls in my house
disgusting.
still. Sorry, Mom. There's probably still cheese balls at your house. But we had a lot of fun, and my actors were super fun to work with. Tommy's in the audience. It was so fun. He brought his harmonica to set. It was great. So we had a good time.
I think working on a set with such kind of a dark undertone, you have to find ways to lighten the mood every once in a while, especially because the way things work at my school, you kind of have a hiring weekend for your cast and crew of underclassmen, so I wasn't necessarily working with, some of them were my friends that came out for the hiring weekend, but most of them were people, I only knew their work and I didn't know them personally, so really getting to bond with my crew, bonding with my cast, and getting to know what they wanted to do and how working on my set was helping them and how maybe I could help them in the future with their projects. So it was just a learning experience for everyone, even though it was like my film, it really feels like everyone's film. And so getting to know a crew that I wasn't familiar with before was a really cool experience.
Okay. Well, funny enough, I didn't study film. I did study journalism in Colombia, and it was a pretty big experience for all of us because it was my first time writing, directing, editing, and also it was the first time of the directors of photography, Esteban and Camila, the first time on the sound department, first time for every head of the team, so it was huge for us because we were fighting against our own teachers because they say that we had to change the crew because nobody had experiences, but we shut their mouths up, so yeah, I'm really happy about that. But yeah, I think we managed to shot everything. We also got a few extra shots. My AD hated me because of it, but I wanted to, although we didn't use them, so he hated even more because of that. But I'm sorry, Santiago. But yeah, everything went according to plan. Unfortunately, no, we didn't miss anything. We weren't lacking anything, which in hindsight made it surprising. I was like, oh my God, we didn't plan for a lot of it. But yeah, it was lightning in a bottle type of thing.
So funny enough, Evermore is actually, I'm supposed to do a class project. So basically I was studying film in Emerson College, and we all had individual projects for the class. The time duration is we have 3 weeks to do the pre-production, production, and finally the screening. So this is probably the most rushed production set I've ever been on. And this movie means the most to me because this is the first movie where I did everything. I started thinking about the script while I was drifting away in my history class, and then and I was writing a script in my writing class, and then I started preparing for the equipment by myself. I was able to get some venues like with the big black room in my school and some lighting equipment, and that's all I had. And everything was kind of rushed through because I was in such a stress knowing that I had to do everything by myself. But eventually it all worked out perfectly, and yeah, this is the project I'm really proud of.
How was production? Good or bad? Yeah. All right, this is going to have to be a quick answer because I know it's hard to do a quick answer to this because I want to get to audience questions. But we're a student film festival. We want to help students. Tell us, how did you finance your film? How did you finance your film? Where did you get the money from?
Emerson College does give me some equipment, like lighting equipment, but that's kind of all I had. I didn't have enough money to do like rent out equipment or anything or venues, so all I can do is just to find resources I have on campus. So yeah.
My grandparents gave me the house, so it was it was pretty easy because of it, because my grandma has an amazing sense of style and color, and she did, like, she wasn't set, but everything, the walls, the painted walls, the roof, everything was classic Colombian typical architecture. And yeah, it was pretty easy for us because everything was in the house. Of course, we rearranged a lot of it. When my grandma saw the set, she was like, "Oh my God, what you did to my house?" And I was like, "Okay, it's okay, Grandma. We put it back like where it was." So yeah, the finance, you put it right there, Takeshima Studios in Cali, Colombia. It's a production company that they did a contest, I think. Yeah. So students from my university could apply for money. I could apply for money with the script. I won, and another one of my friends won. So we got, I think at the time it was like $1,000 to make it. So yeah, it was that. And also in my university we had equipment and things.
Yeah, I also went to Emerson College, and so we had a really extensive equipment warehouse and props and costumes and stuff. And luckily I had really random connections where I was able to get my beautiful locations for free. But other than that, I held like a music fundraiser because I was friends with a lot of students at Berklee College of Music, and they all performed, and I like charged an entry fee to have my friends from Berklee perform, and so everyone who came donated, and it was a lot of crowdfunding, but yeah, that's basically how I financed my film.
So our film was a combination of a lot of things. The first thing I will say is always ask local businesses, because we had all of our catering covered by a local business in Ithaca, and you'll notice that it's a little fun fact, but every time my character wakes up, she's wearing a different product placement shirt. So we did product placement shirts with all the restaurants in our town. American High gave us the production studio pro bono because I had worked there for so long, so I asked them if we could use it. I asked them if we could use the prop house. I had interned for them unpaid for a while, so I was not afraid to ask. So I asked them for that. We also got product placement agreement to use one of their fun hats in the film. We used my parents' house, so we didn't have, so we threw a party in that house. And then, yeah, so that was like a majority of our funding was just asking local business and the places that I had interned at and the people that I knew, just any way that they could help provide the locations and provide food, because food was a huge cost for our crew. So having food and hot meals by we had the Boatyard Grill, Ithaca Bakery, College Town Bagels, so we had like hot food for our crew. And then my dad has a contracting company, and he made burgers for us, so his company's also listed in there. And then Jackie is going to talk about the other half of financing.
We also started a GoFundMe, and we had, our school didn't give us the grant that we applied for it, so we had to ask our alumni to donate to our GoFundMe, and we also got, again, we just ask people for favors, and we pay them in a different way by the product placement or just by showing on social media as well. So that was half of it, what we did. And for post-production was the same, just did a lot of fundraising with alumni's friends and just begging for money. But it's worth it, because, you can do it, yeah.
All right, so I want to take audience questions. I'm going to do 2 quick questions, so if you have a question with a quick answer, feel free to ask. Anyone have any questions? Questions from the audience? Okay.
Do you need the eagle
Yeah.
again?
Actually, wait, take mine.
Thank you. First of all, thank you all you guys for sharing your work. It was great to experience all that. I have a question for Nicholas. With the opening shot of the film, the main character was covered by the sheet, and I'm just curious to hear what your thinking was behind starting the film with that, and what you were trying to convey through that.
Well, to be honest, it started as a homage to Gaspar Noé's Vortex, a movie that I dearly love. And that, first of all, was that, but also I was talking to my friends and people who read the script that I really wanted to start with a powerful image to really engage people. And I thought, okay, I like this image, but how can I use it in the context of the story? And I thought, okay, it could be a foreshadowing of the character's destiny at the end. So foreshadowing the themes, also the themes of the movie, not only his fate, but the themes, death, the loneliness, isolation. So yeah, that's what I wanted to evoke.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, we have one question here. Just ask it, go.
Oh, yeah. For Most Likely To, what was it like to direct and star at the same time?
I didn't star.
Oh, you didn't star?
I
Oh my
didn't.
God.
I know, but she looks kind of like me.
Yeah.
We're the same height. I'll take it as a compliment though, because Juliana really slayed. So, but I mean, yeah. Sorry, I did not.
What was it like to direct then?
What was it like to direct? It was okay. Well, I will talk about how it was interesting because my actors, contrary to popular belief, are not high schoolers. So I had to, I spent some rehearsals with them, just talking through each of the scenes and going over, my Juliana is actually a freshman, so she had just graduated high school. So I was like, awesome, you have just been there. Tell me about it. And Tommy is not just graduated from high school, but works at American High Shorts, so was working in high school shorts for a lot of years. So I was very excited to have both of them. And so directing it was definitely trying to connect to a younger version of myself. And also have the actors connect to that, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, big round of applause for the filmmakers. All right, okay, couple things. On the way out, please vote for the Audience Award. You're going to be able to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Don't give a thumbs up to every film because that makes it impossible. That doesn't do anything. So thumbs down doesn't necessarily mean like you hate the film, you don't like it, but thumbs down is just like you're not going to vote for it for your vote for the Audience Award. You can vote for 1, 2, 3 films, but don't give a thumbs up to every film.
Max, can I say one thing? Just to
Okay, last thing, and then quickly, and then we have to go
yeah.
to the after party.
Yeah. I would myself be down to say this, but coming all the way from Latin America, coming all the way from Colombia, I need to say something. It's not. It's important to me to make a point saying that we have a lot of stories to tell besides narco stories. We have a lot of things to say. We have a lot of feelings. We can be melancholic. We can be nostalgic. We can be lonely. We can be. We can be also joyous. So please do not, I please beg you, do not stick the stigma of narco stories. It's a burden we've been carrying for 30 years and we're trying so hard to take that off. So yeah, thank you.
All right, again, Audience Award is right here. After party is right across the street. You will see it, the sign Cacio e Pepe, right there. Come to the after party and let's have and meet the filmmakers.
And you can take a photo with the last one.
Oh, you can't speak.
Yeah.